Everything is going extremely well.
And now, showtime.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Good to see you. Wow, comment right away. Hey, sup? All right, good to see you guys. Yeah, I only have my voice back a little bit, which is fantastic. So today we're going to get into some big stuff. We also have an interview with somebody that's going to be awesome. And let's just not waste any moment. Let's dive right on into it. What I want to talk about today is that you can fix an unprofitable ad account without changing your ads, not by optimizing, not by lowering CPMs, but by changing one thing. What happens after somebody says yes? What I mean by this is you can poke the problem. Most brands try to scale by doing one of two things. They discount harder or they spend more and pray that their ROAS holds. And to be fair, ROAS isn't money anyway. And that's why they stall. So with that in mind, in the next 8 or so minutes, I'm going to show you the single best lever for scaling paid media. This is something I invented almost a decade ago now. It's called the rebuttal upsell, aka the modern, but wait, there's more moment. Okay. Now, this comes from real offers this comes from real offer builds used to increase AOV, reduce blended CPA, and unlock higher spend ceilings. So let's get into it. Let's start with what a rebuttal upsell actually is and why it's the number one AOV lever in your business, and honestly, something that is dramatically underappreciated and wildly underleveraged by folks that don't really care about your business running all of your ads. So to understand rebuttal upsell, you need to understand the 3 levers that every offer has. Let's get into an example. Picture your business like a simple equation. Profit equals AOV minus CPA times volume, GPT times number of sales. You can only scale by pulling one of those 3 levers. You can increase featured transactions. That's LTV divided by repeat purchase. That'll reduce the CPA. You can reduce the CPA by getting cheaper conversions via retargeting or catalog, emails, or search, stuff like that. Or you can increase the AOV, get more revenue per transaction. Those are the only 3 options you've got. Now, most brands obsess over CPA or ROAS, but the fastest unlock is usually AOV, and it's way stickier. So when your hero offer isn't profitable on day one, you really only have 2 moves. Either you reduce the CPA by getting transactions from other places, or you increase the AOV. And the most powerful AOV mechanism is the rebuttal upsell. Now, let's get into some real-world case studies here. Here's what a rebuttal upsell looks like when it's done correctly. Now, an example of a business that I've worked with. One is Made by Mary. It's a successful Etsy jewelry shop that exploded on Shopify. The move wasn't better ads. It was offer architecture. They had a hero product, a low-price bestseller, their hoop earrings. And I think for Mother's Day, they were going to discount it like 35% or whatever. And I really had to talk them out of it. Because instead of discounting earrings and praying, we created a gift-ready bundle that solved a different objection. Because the real objection for the business wasn't price. For Mother's Day, it's, is this enough of a gift? And the honest truth is, if you're married, you know one set of hoop earrings ain't going to do it. So the rebuttal upsell became best-selling hoops plus a personalized stackable necklace with a super high markup and the highest second purchase rate of any product they had. Plus gift packaging, a bag, a note, a storage case, and some care accessories, a little jewelry cleaner pen, and a gift card that brings the buyer back. Now, the offer wasn't $34 earrings marked down. It's, I solved Mother's Day with 1 box for less than $150, plus the opportunity for that person to go and buy again. And that changes who buys, because over 70% of the sales were for women. This wasn't just for women buying for themselves. It was men buying gifts. So they were able to dramatically expand their customer base by getting people that were inspiring other people to also become new customers. So if you steal nothing else, steal this. A good rebuttal upsell isn't about lowering price. It's about overcoming the true objection. Now, in this case, I need to feel like I got a real gift. I need this to be easy. I don't want to screw this up, right? Like that's the emotion of the person buying. So the bundle becomes the answer. You are solving problems and making it easy. Plus, 20% of the people that got the gift card became new customers. So for every 5 sales, you got a 6th customer for free. That's a 20% reduction on CAC just by offer construction. And the AOV of that bundle was greater than the LTV of the average customer. Now let's look at a version that's evergreen and not seasonal. It's another brand I work with. Their name is Kingsloop. Now they sell wallets. And they expanded into some travel accessories with the Passport wallet. Their hero product brought them to scale, but it capped them because their wallet really had one problem. People don't buy 10 wallets. And they were premium, which is great, but they ultimately had an issue. So we built a rebuttal upsell around a new objection. I love the brand, but I can't buy more of it. And this is a vertical integration objection. So we created the Ultimate Travel Kit. That was the offer. So we used the Passport wallet, which is already their second hero. But we brought in luggage, matching bags, and things that went with the luggage, like a tech bag and something for your makeup. And we had add-ons like engraving, color matching, everything with a lifetime guarantee. Now it's not just, oh, here's a wallet for the guy. This is the entire luxury luggage set for the family. And there's one for the men, there's one for the women, and we have the Passport wallet with a bunch of upsells. Now this is a $1,900 offer we can sell for $1,500 instead of hoping to get somebody to buy a $200 wallet and never seeing them again. This is become the kind of traveler who has the full set. That's the sale. And the crazy stat shows why this works. A large portion of those buyers are new customers, not just repeats. So this reveals the 3 common rebuttal upsell jobs. 1 is market expansion, new customer types. 2 is vertical expansion, buying more products from the same brand. And 3 is churn reduction, multi-unit commitment. And you can still use this also on D2C brands, subscription products, SaaS companies, lead gen. The mechanics are the same. And here's where people mess this up. Let's cover quickly the mistake that kills most rebuttal upsells. Some brands bundle random junk and wonder why it dilutes the brand. That's what your competitors do when they start expanding their products to a million different things. We have somebody that sells a urine cleaner, pet urine cleaner product. Now, if they added kitty litter and shampoo or whatever, that's dramatically reducing the value of the business. Because if you buy kitty litter, it's no longer the pet pee product, right? Your upsell must stay inside one of these lanes. It has to deepen the core promise. It has to solve the obvious next problem. And it has to make the hero product work better. If it doesn't do that, it's not an upsell. It's brand dilution. So let's pay this off, all right? Rebuttal upsells work because they're the modern, but wait, there's more moment. And when I invented the rebuttal upsell, I did it with my partner, the president at 310 Nutrition, and she's a fucking gangster. Her name is Marina. Yo, Jarrett, what up, y'all? I was trying to give a shout out for an example that you brought to the table yesterday on the NBA call. So anyway, she was vice president of Guthrie Renker. Her big projects were Ginsu Knives and Proactive Skincare Solution. And we realized in the late 2010s that nobody had a but wait, there's more moment in D2C. Well, she could spend $100 million on television with no pixel because, again, pixels don't mean anything. Attribution is a lie. All she did to manage $100 million was have a stopwatch after the commercial aired. After 5 minutes, attribution was over. That was it. And then you would edit different versions of the infomercial to see what got more calls and what got less. That's how she spent $100 million. Nothing on ROAS, because that's bullshit. Nothing on attribution or credit or anything else. It was, I'm going to change the advertising and then see what happens to the business. That's all any of this is. So we had to build one for D2C. And 310 Nutrition went from 15 million to 98 million in 20 months. I did the same thing with Under Wrapped. It went from 50,000 a month to a million a week in a year and a half. I've done it over and over again. And people inside the Meta MBA program are doing that over and over again. And by the way, we're having a new cohort start on April, but more on that another time. We also dive heavy into Disruptor Academy, or we're getting more into it. And I want to bring up some more of that here in a little bit. But also, hey, look, if you're interested in Disruptor Academy, we'll have a little link on that for you here in a bit. Now, the reason Rebuttal Upsell work and they scale paid media is because they increase the AOV fast. They reduce the blended CPA over time, and they expand who buys. And they can even reduce churn when used with subscriptions or multi-unit products. So here's your homework, all right? I want you to pick one of these 3 business problems. Your market is too small. You're capped by a single hero product. Or too many people buy once and then churn. You don't have enough repeating customers. Then I want you to write one rebuttal upsell idea that solves it. That's your homework. Now, if you come into Disruptor Academy, you can share that with the community, and we'll work on it together. Also in the Meta MBA, everybody's doing this. We had a whole 90-minute lecture on that, then getting into a whole bunch of other stuff. More on that another time. But with all that being said, we've been talking about the Disruptor Academy, and I want you to hear what it's like with other people's words.
When I joined, I think it was over about a year ago or something.
Yeah.
I was the prompt was I was helping my wife out with her business, and I realized that the whole constraint of her business at that time was Facebook ads, Meta ads, and my lack of knowledge on how to create a successful, scalable campaign. We were doing okay, but trying to scale it up, I just really didn't know what I was doing. I had taken course before that taught me all of the wrong things. And so because I was doing things wrong, I was just messing with Meta and making it worse. And so I ended up just going on YouTube and listening to every different influencer who talks about Meta ads. And finally, I found your videos, and for the first time, it actually made sense. Like all of the other ones were not I feel like it just didn't seem quite right to me. So then I binged your whole channel, and just watching your YouTube alone, I felt like already that was a 10x level up. And then it was shortly after that you opened the community for the first time. So of course I'm gotta jump in here. And man, I'm trying to even remember back then what the numbers were. I know that we took her business pretty quickly. I think it was within 6 weeks, from $0 to 12K a month in revenue, which was pretty great at that point to do just purely with the Meta ads. And that was definitely a direct result of having the tools to run a campaign properly the way that you teach. And so that was the first win there. And then since then, man, I'll cover a couple things. Number one, just implementing something that is so simple has been really, it's just changed everything for me, because before I was doing all of this work that felt important, like testing all of this different stuff and looking at all these metrics that ultimately I've learned don't really matter, or pointing to the wrong things, right? And that took a lot of my time, first of all, but also all I was doing was I was messing with something that just needed time to cook. It's like if you keep taking the cake out of the oven and poking it or stirring it up. It's like, no, just let the cake cook, man. So switching to that, first of all, it saved me a bunch of time. And then second of all, one of the one of the moments for me where I saw how different my experience with meta ads is now versus most people's. You know, when Andromeda dropped and everyone is freaking out, first of all, I went through these Reddit threads where everyone was saying like Andromeda killed my business. They're doing like 100K a month e-commerce stuff, and then all of a sudden it all just goes to hell and they don't have a business anymore. Meanwhile, I kind of just forgot to check my meta ads manager, but I checked it. I'm like, oh yeah, Andromeda happened. Oh cool, my cost per lead is down $2. Like, no, it didn't affect me at all because I was already working with Meta's algorithm the way that it's designed rather than fighting it the way that most people teach. And I'm all about simple and I'm all about what works. And that's what I love about the system that you teach. And so it's just like it wasn't even a bump in the road for me. It was just, oh great, that's like now my ads are doing slightly better.
I love that
Whereas,
it was like a slight reminder to, oh, I should check in on the ad account. Because one of the things we talk about is like, you don't need to.
yeah.
Like is in the saving time, how much time are you spending in the ad account before?
Oh, I mean, it was definitely hours per week. Like,
Mm.
I don't know. It depends on the week, but if I was really trying to like scale things up, it's probably 5 to 10 hours a week. And now, um, I mean, this last week was special because I'm launching a new like self-liquidating offer. So I spent maybe an hour setting that up, and then I checked it like 10 minutes, twice for my other campaigns last week, and everything's going great. And I don't need to mess with it. And
That's
that's the thing that I love is that it can be my tendency to like mess with things, but
of
just
course.
following your guidance on letting Meta do what it does best, and it does just get better.
Yeah, it's crazy how letting the cake cook lets the magic happen. You know, it's like what it's milk, there's some eggs, some weird powder, there's butter, and then like you turn around and then it's a chocolate cake. Like what happened? Which
Yeah.
is incredible. Um, and what kind of numbers are you guys doing now, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so I'm actually so you can cut this part out, but actually
Sure,
the piece with my wife's business and everything, Meta, we pretty much stopped being able to run ads successfully on Meta due to the health and wellness
sure.
thing that happened. And so she's crushing it right now with organic.
Love it.
But I've switched over in August of last year, kind of back to my core business that I had started a while ago. And peak of that, we were doing about 40K a month. And then the nice thing too is the constraint of that isn't the Facebook ads.
Hmm.
And so like I could profitably scale up our Facebook ads no problem as long as I fix the other challenges that are happening in the business with our sales process and everything. But like just going from when I first found your work, the constraint of the business being my ability to run meta ads to now, that's never the problem. It's like the meta ads are working fine, and now I can just use my time and energy and attention to work on the actual constraints of the business because the meta ads are working fine.
I love that, man, and I think the constraints. That's it's. I talked about that a lot in the lead gen for operators course. It's just like what is the constraint, right? And I love that because it's such a thing. I think people are so focused on the ego and the pride of the dollars you're spending on a daily basis. And that has nothing to do with the money you take home at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, there's some correlation. If you're spending $1 million a day, hopefully you're taking more than $1 home that day. But like, one doesn't directly indicate the other, you know? And I think that's a big change that a lot of people think about and a lot of people approach things. And with that in mind, like I'd love to know a bit about some of the changes. Like, what did you end up changing in the ad account? What are some of the things that you did differently? I don't know if there's a couple of examples, but like you went from several hours maybe an hour or two a day to having to remember to check. Like there's that's it's not just because you hit join on a group. Like there's some things that you did. I'm wondering if you don't mind just kind of laying some of those things out.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna cover some things that is me doing it totally wrong previously. But one thing I just want to touch on that because I see it's like everybody's talking about. I see all these ads for like meta ads agencies and creative agencies, and everyone is just hammering like produce like thousands of creatives a month because Andromeda is asking for it. Man, all of these poor people are gonna like pay this agency a bunch of money to produce way more creatives than their ad account can handle, and it's gonna make their performance worse. And so that would be the first thing is rather than trying to produce an enormous volume of creative that my account couldn't actually handle, just focusing on like the 4PI method and only replacing the creatives that are the worst performing when that's needed, which honestly, we found some pretty decent ones and we don't have to do that very much. Um, so that's one thing. And then another thing is just knowing what metrics to pay attention to and when to change things. Before I'm trying to think of how exactly I was measuring it before, but the way that I had been taught, I was like looking at my ad account every day and oh, this is it. Yeah. I didn't know that every ad set is basically a funnel where you have your prospecting ads, you have your like closing ads, all of that. And so I was turning off really high performing prospecting ads because by the metrics I had been taught by other people, they were not performing well. So I was basically cutting off the inflow of my funnel and trying to force like the conversion ads or the closing ads at the end to do all of the work of the prospecting ads, which they don't do very well. And so every time Meta would find something that like this combination works, we'll use this prospecting ad and then we'll close them with this one. I would look at the metrics the way that I'd been taught by most other people and be like, okay, turn off that ad, and then force the algorithm to keep figuring things out on the fly, which obviously negatively affects performance. And I was taking my time to do that instead of focusing on other areas of the business. So I would say like the 4PI analysis and just looking at what metrics to check, that's been a huge win for me. Um, I think it was Warren Buffett who said, if you can't read the scoreboard, you don't know the score. And if you don't know the score, you can't tell who's winning and who's losing. It's like that for your Meta Ads account too.
Totally. Yeah. I love that you mentioned that, the launching dozens or hundreds of creatives down into just saying, well, this thing has a job, this thing has a job, and then just trying to repair the ones that need a little bit of help. I mean, with that in mind, like how many ads are you launching? Like if you could say like in the average month or the average week, I'm launching X number of ads, what would that be?
I mean, on average, it would be less than one. I mean, like recently, I started launching a new like self-liquidating offer. So, um, this last week I launched a few for the new campaign, but on my
Sure.
existing campaign, I mean, it's doing fine. Like, I don't think I've added a new creative in months, actually. It's just like doing okay. I don't need to mess with it.
Oh, I think that's gonna break people's brains. They're like, but how does that make it work? And it's like, well, that's actually why it works, right?
Yeah.
They're like that flip is just so incredibly powerful, and I love hearing it. As a guy, I love hearing other people say it in the way that you're describing it to me. It's very cathartic. I don't know. It's a beautiful thing. Um, so with
Uh,
that in mind, man, I would love to know from you, um, like who you think this is right for, or like what's like, who do you think this would help the most, and is there anybody you think it shouldn't help, and like what was the moment that it really like clicked for you?
oh man. I mean, I think anyone who's running ads on Meta, it's right for with the caveat that like you got to just try it. You know, it's like I think it can be hard to switch into a new system that works differently from the way that a lot of people are saying that it works. Um, but then for me, I just look at the results that I've been experiencing, and they were a lot worse before, and they're a lot better now. So like that's good enough for me. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I recommend you to everyone I know who's running Meta ads because I care about them and I don't want them to waste a bunch of money or waste a bunch of time doing things that are going to make their ad account worse. Um, and so yeah, like really, if you're running Meta ads, and the thing that I really appreciate about you too, Charlie, is that like I came to you because I needed help with meta ads, but meta ads are never the only issue or the only piece of your business. And you could like if you just optimize meta ads perfectly, but the rest of your business sucks, like you have no back end, no repeat purchases, you don't have like no brand, like any of this stuff, like it's going to be hard just to win with meta ads alone or win to the degree that you could. And the thing that I really appreciate about the way that you teach is you don't teach meta ads in a vacuum. You teach them as related to all of the other parts of your business that actually impact the profitability. So rather than just focusing on making a pretty ROAS number, you're actually teaching people how to take home money at the end of the month. And that is a huge difference. There are so many businesses that have a really great looking ROAS and they're the founder is like they don't have furniture in their house because they have gone so many months without being able to buy furniture. Like that was a true story that I heard. So, yeah, I really appreciate the holistic focus there. And I'll add another thing too, because this is something that I just implemented. And it has to do with the creative thing too, where I followed the advice that you gave me on our like the Roast My Ad account and was so I've been tracking those custom metrics, tracking people down the funnel after they become leads. And so I figured now I have enough data on this. What if I just create a new campaign that's optimizing for people who for people who go through my process and are qualified enough to book a call. And so I just implemented that last week, and our cost per qualified booked call went down from around $250 to around $50 in the first week of the campaign. And so who knows if it'll stay there, but I'm a lot happier with that than and like I said before, it was working all right. But yeah, that's I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, I mean, if it ends up just you spend 20% of the money, that's added profit. I tell people all the time, like one time I added 12 million a year in EBITDA to a business by cutting 30,000 a day in ad spend.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. Like most people don't think about that, right? Or no, most people don't teach about that. I feel like they're like the people who are teaching business at a higher level who most of them aren't teaching Facebook ads specifically. They're like, they have business masterminds and everything. And a lot of the people who are teaching Facebook ads are just teaching that in a vacuum. And that, like I said, I just so appreciate that you're not just teaching Facebook ads, you're teaching how to run a profitable business that includes meta ads.
I appreciate that a lot, man. That's, I think, the way I think of myself in it, and that means so much. I really appreciate it. I don't want to keep you for too long, but I just if there's anything you'd like to say to anybody, or if you want to promote what you got going on, I'd love to maybe give you the last word, and then we can see each other again in the academy. I just want to say thank you, and I get to provide for my family because people like you find value in what I'm doing, and I try to provide value. It's this wonderful symbiosis of just dads trying to make the family better, and that's not a terrible place for you and I to be in.
I'm with you, man. I feel like of all of the I go through my checking account like every month and audit my expenses, and I feel happy seeing that money leave my account and go to Disruptor Academy every month, just because like I feel like both in the way that I feel about it and in the pure economics of my bank account, the value that I've received from being in Academy has been so many times more than like what I have paid for it. I was just thinking about like as I was thinking about like jumping on this call, wow, I joined like this big expensive business mastermind, like, thousands of dollars a month and everything, and didn't get even 1/10 of the value after that out of that I did from Disruptor Academy, which is what, like a few $100 a month or something now. It's really Disruptor Academy has been one of the highest ROI decisions that I've made in my business, really. And like anyone I know who has a business that runs meta ads, I recommend them to you because I'm just really grateful, man. Like I really mean that. It's just to have someone who I can really trust to guide me on meta ads, like it it has an impact not just in the like I want my business to be successful way, but also like it takes a weight off my shoulders because my business is what provides for my family. And knowing that there's someone who I can trust who's there to answer questions when like things change or things get crazy. um yeah, it just like I'm really grateful to have you as a mentor, and anyone who's considering working with you, I just want to say like I know the internet's a crazy place, but Charlie's the real deal. Like he really knows what he's talking about, and in my experience at least the results have been really great, and over the last year or more, they've continued to just get better. So yeah, I really appreciate you, man.
Oh, dude, I really appreciate you. And with that, I think I'll let you go. I think we're maybe 10 minutes over what I think we were supposed to do, and I appreciate your time. And I really thank you, man. That means a lot. And I'm gonna go with my head a little bit higher for the rest of the day. So I very much appreciate that. And take care, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Sounds good, man. Yeah,
All right.
anytime. I'm always happy to say good things about Disruptor Academy. I appreciate you.
All right. I appreciate, dude. I'll see you later. Boom. Awesome. Awesome. There we go. So yeah, that's Nicholas. Love that dude. And it's so great to be able to share that with you all. By the way, disruptoracademy.com, or scan that code to join Disruptor Academy for free. $0 to join. And we are going to try to clear out all of the people in the queue. Let's see what it looks like right now, because it has been stacking up. Let's see here. Community, we got 37 more people. Man, I just cleared this thing this morning. Okay, let's see here. But big shout out real quick. Let's just get into the folks that have joined in the standard and the premium over the last week or so. We got let's see here. Boom. We got why is this all like chunky? I'm going to do this one more time. Remove and then add the stage. Now remove, stop, come over here, share screen, boom. Is that better? Still kind of shitty. What the fuck? Oh well. You can only do so much, you know. Thanks, StreamYard. So anyway, let's see. Diogo, awesome. Sam, Gabo, Charlie, Vuk, Lamont, Steven with the VIP. Love that. Also, Gabo with the VIP, Italian info marketer. Love it. Jerome King hitting in. Daniel with the VIP. Zach on the monthly. Khaled on the monthly. Raheel on the monthly. Man, look at all of this all of this. Love it. Let's see if we got any more. Folks, just look at this. This is just, I am so thrilled with everybody here. And that's just in the last week or so. So anyway, Disruptor Academy, people are loving it. I am so appreciative of what you all are bringing to the table there. And with that being said, let's get into the comments and questions for the week. So, all right, how to start running ads for a new brand with engagement campaign and setting up seed audiences still matters after Andromeda. I mean, it never really mattered to begin with, but I don't hate the idea of having a brand where the first touch isn't begging for somebody's money. I think that's always a good thing. So if we can take that approach, I love it. So let's definitely focus on having people actually give a damn before we ask for money if we can. Let's see. Man, I just watched a video saying that running awareness, traffic, and engagement campaigns will cause the pixel to increasingly find less qualified customers and eventually kill the pixel. So who is right? Should we run engagement campaigns or should we use a different pixel to run them? Oh, no. Who did that? It's Sam. It's the newest video from Sam. Oh, Sam. Oh, buddy. I was just texting with you too. We might have to correct Sam in a reaction video today. Let's see, GPT. Love this. Curious, how can I set up GPT if our product is sold offline? You can always pass back conversion data to Facebook. That's always an option. You can always choose to share data and apply conversion values and stuff. Totally fine. 322 system makes a lot of sense, perfect structure and smart for scaling, but I'm just wondering, is it okay to run more than one 322 flex ad in the same ad set? We actually have inside Disruptor Academy, we actually have multiple courses on this, creative testing on Meta after Andromeda and Andromeda 1, which we have another video coming out on next week. And both of these courses go through in depth, like building accounts, question and answer. We got automation, creative strategy, all the things you need. But one of the core tenets is how to know whether you can run multiple inside of one or if you should have each ad set having their own flex ad. The short answer is you can put them all in one if you need to. And there's a lot of it depends that we cover in those courses. All right, been trying to join your school community. Just wanted to check if everything's okay. Yeah, we get dozens and dozens of people. We cleared this out this morning. We already have 37 more memberships pending. So, yeah, it's a lot. Oh, what happened? Back. Okay. Let's just go ahead and hit. I'm going to save these because we'll talk about how we mentioned them on the live chat. All right. I run a 12-week body transformation challenge where I help professionals lose fat and get into shape. I've noticed that your seasonal angles perform much better. For example, when I run a summer transformation challenge in March, my ad usually performs significantly better than my evergreen. Every time I introduce a seasonal campaign, I end up adding new creatives into my scaling campaigns. First off, we shouldn't have testing and scaling campaigns. I'm going to probably do a video on that in March. It is on my docket of why that is fucking stupid. And we're going to go after all the ABO folks because just for anybody running ABO, an ABO campaign is basically just a folder of a bunch of one ad set CBO campaigns. You're not clever by doing ABO. You just have a fucking messy ad account of a shit ton of CBO campaigns. It's the same thing. Because they don't talk to each other. They compete with each other. They cannibalize each other. So I see all people like, well, I've got a really simple thing. We're just throwing it all in one campaign with ABO. I'm like, oh, cool. So you have 50 campaigns live. You have 51 ad set CBOs live. Got it. And that's why we with Jeremy Haynes and Jeremy Haynes and all those folks and Daniel and Seach and all of those folks are just their god-awful strategies. But hey, look, you can be really good at some stuff that doesn't force you to need to be good at other things, and there's a balance to the world. So totally fine with that. Now, here's my concern. When I add new things, I'm worried that'll disrupt the algorithm, my performance. So my question is, do you run seasonal campaigns even if they require frequent creative additions, or is it better to run a stable evergreen structure to avoid overloading the AI? How would you structure if you're scaling a high-ticket online coaching program? Well, what I do is I would have an evergreen campaign. And if you need to do seasonal stuff, it's totally fine to put it on the side. If I know that those ads aren't going to be good for more than 6 to 8 weeks, I'll probably just run it on the side. Knowing that the success of one will come at the expense of the success at the other, but that success might be greater, so it's a net positive effort. If it's going to be something like get ready for summer and I can start it in January and it runs all the way to May, I'll probably just throw in my evergreen. At the end of the day, success in one place often comes at the expense of success someplace else. That's why when people are like, well, I'm running ABO campaigns and I got testing and I got scaling and that's really working for me right now. I'm sure it is. But if you didn't run a shit ton of ads, creating ad fatigue and chasing isolated wins, then you wouldn't have that problem that you're trying to solve. Let's see. Laughs with Ava. How to apply to your agency. I don't actually take clients anymore. We are full. Great resource. I'm glad you found it useful. How to make 100,000 a year as a media buyer. All right. Spend 100 million on Meta, and here's what I learned. Thank you so much for this insane amount of free content. The content is priceless. Every time I watch one of your ideas, new ideas strike. I'm not there yet, but see you soon inside Disrupt Your School. Yeah, the Academy Lifehacker is free. You can come and join right now. The thing's right there, disruptoracademy.com. And what's up with the videos with the different thumbnails and hooks? I launched this video. It bombed terribly. It was the worst video I had launched in a year and a half. And after 2 hours, I pulled it, changed the hook, launched it again, and now it's doing very well. So sometimes you have to do that. What is GPT? GPT is gross profit per transaction. Yeah, and a lot of people have never heard of it, and Google was no help. We are trying to do what we can to help folks understand how to be successful. I got into some like Twitter thing where I was like, some guy was like, oh, I'm doing this in my AOV and my ROAS, and I was like, cool, but what about your GPT and your 4PI? And somebody else was like, they Googled 4PI cosine, like trying to do some trigonometry, and then other people were like, oh, you just say things. Like, yeah, you can say things. You can try to help people. Either way, let's keep going. I'm very good in Google ads, but I'm afraid of Meta ads. After watching just 25 minutes of your video, feeling much more confident. Love that. I always try to find a mentor who can actually teach how a platform works, not just like other YouTubers how to create a campaign and start running. Not enough words to say thank you, love from Pakistan. Bonjour. So glad to help. Wait a second. Did I hear volume from the official Meta? Yes, you did hear volume from Yoni at Meta. Absolutely. And life is beginning. And Meta rep just destroyed you. No, here's the thing. Most people, like 80% of folks running ads, only ever launch 4 or 5 ever. And then they complain that it doesn't work. And when Yoni's talking about more volume, he's not just talking about ads. He's talking about organic content as well. And I don't have a problem launching more ads. I don't have a problem testing things. I don't have a problem promoting your organic content. What I say is that if you've solved the problem of being able to spend more money, the worst thing you could do is launch new ads. But so many people mishear that, or they hear what they want to hear, which is that Charlie says never launch new ads. I've never once said that. I've got multiple videos about how to create creative strategy, how to launch new ads, how to scale in a smart way. But yeah, Yoni's a buddy of mine. Oh man, what an ad. Yeah, by the way, if you got to check out this, I spent 1 million on Meta ads in 30 days and learned this. The ad at the end of that video is so fucking good. I might actually just post that 2 minutes of my breakdown of that ad as its own YouTube video, just to see if you guys like these like short little bursts. Because it's so fucking good. Yeah, I don't know. I legitimately think that watching that video can make you an extra $100,000 this year. Hey Charlie, questions about a brand new brand. We started a month ago. We launched many ads, different landing pages, different angles, nothing in our copy or ads communicate any claims or negative words about our angle, yet our CPMs are through the roof. Yeah, because you launched many ads with different landing pages and different angles. You got so complicated, the machine doesn't know who to show your ads to. They don't know why people are interested. They don't know what people are trying to do. And the fact you have a shit ton of pages and a bunch of different you're so complex, you can't do anything well. So the machine is penalizing you because you're a liability. If you focused on doing one thing good enough, A/B test 2 options. Pick the one that works. Spend 90% of your traffic going there and then launch something else. Route after the click and just constantly optimize. You run a bunch of stuff. Whatever fails the least hard, run with it. Then scale from there. Also, if you run some engagement campaigns like we talk about in here, and apparently Sam says not to do, so I might have to do a reaction video on Sam today. We might have to go after the man one more time. I don't know if his video is popular enough. If his video bombed, then I'm not really interested in doing a reaction video to another video that everybody knows is incorrect. But that will also dramatically improve the machine's ability to understand who your market is. And that's incredibly important. Trying to disrupt your school community, disrupt your academy. I also get one-on-one service, but my join request has been approved or rejected yet. Can you please help with this? We're just trying to do the best we can. Also, I only do one-on-ones with members of the Meta MBA. We have a new cohort of the Meta MBA coming out. It opens up. I literally sent an email yesterday. We are taking booking calls now. The first 10 to get in are in, and I'm stopping it after that. First 5 get to save 20%. We do have payment options, but only folks in the MBA program get my time one-on-one. I just don't have the time to focus on other things. The honest truth is I love when I get paid for hour-long calls, but the time on the hour-long calls, time I can't spend helping other people. And it's more profitable for me to make the academy amazing. It's more helpful for me to get the folks in the MBA to be really stoked with their experience. And that's really what it's all about. Stop exposing the elite ads. Let dropshipping kids continue to make shit. Yeah. The ad at the end of this thing is so fucking good. I will commit now. We're going to launch that as a video tomorrow. Fuck it. Bro, you stopped listening when he said the word volume. No, I appreciate that. My membership is pending for a while now. Is the offer still valid? Disruptor Academy is for everyone? No, you should be okay. Sorry. We just have a lot of folks that want to get in. And we do vibe check everyone at the door, even though it's free. Great video with wonderful insights. What's your advice for someone who's just starting out a career in media buying? Fail fast. See if you can spend your own money. And if you can't, use somebody else's, work for free until you learn what to do. Is there something wrong with us using long form copy? Not at all. Not at all. You can totally use long form copy. Totally fine with that. In fact, there are times where I really enjoy it. I think in this video where I'm building ads for Hexclad, it just didn't meet the need of what we were trying to do for that ad. And therefore it was just not necessary. You have to break down each part of your campaigns and test each part individually. If you don't do this, you're just scratching the surface of what we've done in your market. Guaranteed PPC. I appreciate the engagement. And as usual, no. Let's see here. The best meta ads course you posted a year ago, still applicable if I want to learn this year? Absolutely. Here's the thing. You're going to get a lot of folks saying that meta is changing all the time and you have to keep up with the update. No, it's not. Meta has had basically, Facebook ads have had 2 substantial changes since 2018. One of them was in response to iOS 14, which basically meant that delayed attribution went away. So agencies couldn't take 28-day ROAS credit for all the work of the rest of the team. The other one is Andromeda. Now, Andromeda, at a very simple level, Andromeda meant that doing a bad job hurt you more. But, as you heard Nicholas say, the way we do things, Andromeda only made what we do better. Like, he was like, oh, I should probably look at my ads. I forgot. Like, that's how good his ad account is. He literally just doesn't check it. That's what you can do. If you have to spend your time day trading your ad account, what you're not doing is working on the business. If you have to work in the ad account, you're not working on the business. You should be working on making the business better. If you improve conversion rate by 10%, that's like making every single ad 10% better overnight on every channel forever, and it doesn't fatigue. Why are you focused on hacking the ad at the top of the funnel instead of making the entire funnel better? Do what works to stabilize it so that you can maximize something. Take that consistency and just improve it. That's how you make a lot of money. Every 9-figure business that I've helped build, every business that has dramatically scaled from 6 to 8 figures in less than 2 years, and I have dozens of those that I've worked with, every one of them focuses on that. Simple. Let's see. Let's keep going. I have a sore throat just listening to this. Take time off. Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate that. Why mine goes active? Hey, some accounts do. It's day and night with the CPMs between brands that have good organic engagement stuff and those that don't. Yeah, there you go. Donnie just hammering home the point we were talking about earlier. Let's see. If I want to start learning deeper about meta ads from your video, where should I start? Okay. I have 2 options for you that I've built. Number 1, so we're just going to go to the channel real quick, okay? Now, you have 2 choices. First, this playlist, the only videos you need to scale brands and make more money. This is a great playlist for you to just binge. But your other option, if you want it, is to go into our videos and just go, if you look through here for the longest videos, let's see, where is it? This one here, the Meta Ads full course. If you type in course into the channel, let's see if we can go, can we search in here? I've got so many things. Okay, here, course. Boom. This one is how to earn 6 figures. This one is how to set up your ad account. This one is how to scale. This one is everything you know about Andromeda. Start there. I would honestly start at this one, the Meta Ads full course. That one is absolutely amazing. And then you can go to this one. This one has 80,000 views. This is more entry level. Like how to set up an ad account, right? But there's a lot of stuff. If once you learn how to set up the ad account, then you can come down here and learn how to optimize and scale the ad account. And this is how to run things after Andromeda. So those are my best suggestions. Can you make a video to scale to 1 million a month in baby language? Keep it short and simple keynotes. No. Absolute gold. Thank you for the incredible value, Charlie. All the best from Chile. Thank you. Nick Doherty, thank you, video. Charlie, the video was great. You mentioned high cost of CPMs. Do you think number 1 contributor to my high CPM? Did you make a video on that? I mean, Nick, let's see. You can check the 4PI analysis. A high CPM doesn't mean much in a vacuum. Love that. Yes, it's very high for my prospecting ads TOF. So if you're not running engagement campaigns, if you're not improving the customer journey, if you're not focusing on a better business, then you're really going to struggle to reduce the CPMs. Simplicity, value, and identification. Remember, you're in a business partnership with a platform that is optimizing for the stickiness of the customer journey. If you don't help them do that, they'll just price you out of being able to work with them. Hi, thanks for the value. Pray you feel better soon. Thank you. I'm running a CBO for digital books. 1 campaign is 3 ad sets. Each ad set is a different book. With a daily budget, is it better to keep multiple books? Oh, we actually covered this live. So we're good. We're back up. Okay, so we did that last week. Awesome. Cool. So we are basically caught up, which we're not usually there. So with that being said, I'm just going to bring it back to Disruptor Academy, community post. By the way, in Disruptor Academy, I just want to go through the classroom here. So first off, we have the free course hub, which is everything you need to set up an ad account, create a page, budget and campaign planning, your ideal campaign structure, ad accounts, successful ads, optimizing and scaling, how to scale, navigating the ads manager. I mean, you can see that we get super nitty gritty. Then we get into things like how to crush on a low budget, how to run catalog ads, all of that fun stuff. After that, we get into the creative testing on Meta after Andromeda. This course is awesome. Let's see. Here we go. I just realized I wasn't sharing this. So in the free course hub, how do I view this as somebody else? Can I view this? No. Anyway, we've got from setup, the account to the page, the budget, the campaign, creating ads, optimizing, scaling, navigating stuff, the metrics, custom metrics, 4PI, real world case studies, low budgets, catalog ads, everything. Beyond that, we have creative testing on Meta after Andromeda. This will tell you like what's the danger of testing more. We get into understanding your best customer, how to find your best offer. We get into the scientific method on testing with low spend accounts and the scientific method for higher spend accounts. We get into the 4PI analysis. We get into creative strategy, market research, all the tools to get stuff done, building creative with AI, everything you need to be successful in Andromeda. Then we get into Andromeda 1, which is the #1 style of campaign that you could be running. This is the best campaign architecture. It has been for the last 7 years. This is now just updated it for Andromeda, but you can see it's all basically just flow charts and screen shares and walkthroughs, introduction to 322, how to read the ad, how to scale the ad, everything. Like you can see, like this is so simple to follow. We also have one in here for lead gen. Lead gen for operators gets into volume and margin, setting expectations, how you get leads, the metrics you actually need to know, how to run a business based on lead generation, programming the algorithm, the stuff I did. There's some examples for Hormozi. We have newsletter masterclasses, lead capture masterclasses, lead qualifier masterclasses, everything in there for you to understand it. We also have the Begin to Win, which shows you Facebook 101, just how to think about compounding value and documentation. We get into your business economics. We also get into elite media buying, the 322 strategy, the scientific method, automation to scale, the one campaign blueprint. We also get into how Facebook works and how to scale your account. In the Meta blueprint, we get into the 4PI analysis, unit economics, 322 in the one campaign. We also have the disruptor bot, the automation in there. So you can basically ask questions 24 hours a day. But creative strategies, the Olympic rings model, building your creative strategy, the different kinds of ads and where they fit, and examples of all the best kinds of ads you can run. Here's the best structure to be running for any campaign in account. Here's your 322 method, unit economics behind your business. We even get into spreadsheets so you can understand what your numbers actually need to be. So many people have no idea what the numbers are. They just focus on ROAS and don't understand why the business isn't growing. We also have masterclasses on creative strategy, email, split testing, TikTok, team building, bootstrapping, surveys, newsletter, YouTube ads, influencers, building your audience, Google search, landing pages, agency operations, affiliates, creative strategy, CAPI, creative testing, profitable scaling margin. We've got Google Ads 101. There's a few other things coming out here very soon. Super excited for all of this. So with all that being said, Disruptor Academy is, in my opinion, the single best thing you can do until you jump into the Meta MBA program. That being said, the Meta MBA program is opening up. If you're interested in that, I sent out an email yesterday. Please reply back to it or message me on School. Join Disruptor Academy, message me on School, say you want to get into the Meta MBA. Join the folks running 7, 8, even some folks with 9-figure businesses that are doing everything the right way so that they can build leverage, save time, and make more money. So they can work on the business instead of day trading the ad account. They stop worrying about creative testing and volume of all of this just absolute nonsense designed to make you dependent on an ad agency that has never been to where you want to go, that hasn't built the results that you want to have. And then honestly, most ad agencies, and I say this as a guy that's run plenty of them, most ad agencies have a couple of clients that are really, really good. They're usually so good that they don't need the agency, but they just don't want to do the work themselves. Then every other client the agency has is basically paying money to train a media buyer on how to do the job. That's what you're primarily paying for. On-the-job training for somebody else who, if they're good enough, they wouldn't work at the agency because they could just take their own clients on their own. Half of those people probably won't be working there in 6 months. Half of the people that do probably won't be a media buyer next year. And it's not that agencies are bad. I think they're really good agencies. I'm just saying that the majority of the situation is that somebody who has never been to where you want to go, that doesn't care about your business nearly as much as you do, is using your money to train their employees on how to be better for the clients that are really, really good. And in fact, most of those clients are so good they don't need the agency. You can 100% do this yourself. You heard Nicholas say, like, You have an hour or two a week, you can run your entire ad account. When Andromeda came, it was a reminder for him to even look at his ads because he was so successful. When I asked him, how many ads did you run in the last month? How many new ads did you launch? He's like, none. Because you don't need to once you get them right. All right, with that being said, everybody, once again, remember the Disruptor Academy is free. Let's go through the chat here real quick. If a business is generating profitable ROAS on platform but it's struggling, what would you diagnose and solve the problem? We have to look at profit, not ROAS. ROAS isn't profit. ROAS has nothing to do with revenue or profit. It is how much credit for the success of the business can any ad take? How much credit for the money you make? But it's not how do you make more money. Do we need to run ads for Rebuff? You don't. As a matter of fact, I often market test my rebuttal upsells with email. No voice. Okay, yep, we got that fixed. So engagement campaign will not have 322. You're just pushing your organic content. Let's see. I want to start learning deeper. We covered that. Let's see here. Try and implement the stop loss automated rule using CPP. Meta won't allow at the ad set at the ad level on a CBO lead campaign. How do you usually get around this? What I will do for this is say over the last 7 days, if I've spent at least $500 and I have less than 100 leads, that implies a $5 cost per lead. And if that's too expensive for me, I'll turn the ad off until my spend over the last 7 days is below $300, something like that. You can say volume of spend, number of events, and just have this thing where the more it spends, the more efficient it has to be. More on that inside the academy. Can't get into all of it right now. What is the best campaign structure catalog ads with 1,000 SKUs? I have a whole course inside the academy on catalogs. I would really just dive into that. And sorry, I'm sniffly. I am still getting over something. And I think for the first few months that your kid joins school, you're going to be internally sick. So yeah, I apologize for that. What is the ideal frequency for catalog ads? CPM is rising. There isn't one. Prospecting should probably be below a 1.2, 1.3 on a daily basis. Your retargeting should probably be at least a 1.5, if not a 2. There you go. All right, everybody, we got up to 93, 96. Yeah, awesome. We got to nearly 200 eyeballs today. I appreciate it. I will let you know that in a month or so, I'm going to be in New York, and we're probably not going to do these lives for a few. I'm going to be testing something to see if I don't do the lives, will you all watch more of the YouTube videos? And we're going to try to make the YouTube videos more in depth. Look at this. Thank you for that answer. I just implemented it as you were saying it. I'm a premium member of the Academy. It's the best business investment ever. Bro or girl, whatever it is, DM me. We had a chat with Nicholas. I'd love to have a chat with you and share your experience with everybody else. 322 for every offer. No, do the ones that work. You should not be promoting more than 2 or 3 offers in any business. Your thought on catalog ads? I think they're great. Can we have a video on a new brand setup, not only about Meta ads, the full business plan? That's in the academy. That is the creative testing on Meta, is a brand new business. That is me showing you how I set up all of the ads from scratch for my software company, Disruptor Tools. By the way, if you don't know about Disruptor Tools, you're missing out. More on that another time. I got to go. Everybody, take care. See you later. If you really, really value what we do here, please just go share one of the latest videos and comment on stuff. Just tell people that you're happy with things. Actually, we onboarded Marpipe to enrich catalog. It is good. Yeah, I love Marpipe. Dan is a great friend of mine. Whenever I'm in Manhattan, I often work out of his office. So love it. All right, everybody. That being said, I'm going to go. Take care. Bye.